Imagine this. Tomorrow morning, your alarm rings at 5:30. You know exactly what you promised yourself. You said you would wake up early. You said you would exercise. You said you would read. You said you would work on your goals. You said you would stop wasting hours on your phone. But then, the alarm rings. You open your eyes, and a small voice inside your head says, just 5 more minutes. 5 minutes becomes 30. 30 minutes becomes an hour. And before you know it, the day has already started without you. You feel guilty. You tell yourself, tomorrow I'll do better. But tomorrow comes, and the same thing happens again. This is not because you are lazy. It is not because you are incapable. And it is not because you don't have dreams. The real problem is something much deeper. You have not yet learned how to control yourself when you don't feel like doing what needs to be done. And that is what discipline really is. Discipline is not waking up motivated every morning. Discipline is waking up even when you don't feel motivated. Discipline is not working when you feel inspired. Discipline is working when nobody is watching. Discipline is keeping the promise you made to yourself, especially when breaking that promise would be easier. Today, we're going to discover how to become that person. A person who doesn't need motivation every day. A person who can control their attention, control their habits, control their emotions, and most importantly, control their actions. So take a deep breath, slow down, and listen carefully. Because by the end of this journey, I want you to understand one simple truth. Your future is built by what you repeatedly do when you don't feel like doing it. Part 1. The story of two people. Let me tell you a story. There were two young men. Let's call them Alex and Daniel. Both were intelligent. Both had dreams. Both wanted to become successful. And strangely enough, both started with almost exactly the same opportunities. Alex wanted to become physically fit. He bought workout clothes. He watched fitness videos. He downloaded a workout app. He created a perfect schedule. He even bought a notebook and wrote, "From Monday, my new life begins." Monday arrived. Alex felt excited. He completed his workout. He ate healthy food. He felt powerful. Tuesday, he exercised again. Wednesday, he was tired. He thought, I'll take one day off. Thursday, he had a busy day. Friday, he didn't feel motivated. Saturday, he decided to start again Monday. And Monday came, but now starting again felt difficult. Weeks passed, then months. Alex continued planning, but he rarely continued doing. Now Daniel had the same goal, but Daniel approached it differently. He made a very small promise. He said, I don't have to exercise for 1 hour every day. I only have to exercise for 10 minutes. Some days he trained for an hour, some days 20 minutes, some days only 10 minutes. But he refused to completely quit. One rainy morning, Daniel didn't want to exercise. He was tired. His bed was comfortable. His brain gave him every possible excuse. You worked hard yesterday. You deserve a rest. You can do it tomorrow. Daniel listened to those thoughts, but he didn't obey them. He stood up, put on his shoes, and exercised for 10 minutes. That's all. 10 minutes. It didn't feel impressive. Nobody applauded. Nobody noticed. But something important happened. Daniel kept a promise to himself, and every time he kept that promise, he became a little stronger. Not only physically, psychologically. He was teaching his brain, when I say I will do something, I do it. After 1 year, something interesting happened. Alex still had the dream. Daniel had the results. Why? Not because Daniel was more talented. Not because he was more motivated. Not because he had more time. He simply understood something Alex didn't. Small actions repeated consistently are more powerful than big actions performed occasionally. Part 2. The first core lesson. Discipline is a skill. Many people believe discipline is something you're either born with or you're not. That's a mistake. Discipline is a skill. And like every skill, it can be trained. Think about a muscle. If you never exercise it, it becomes weak. If you train it regularly, it becomes stronger. Your ability to control your behavior works the same way. Every time you do something difficult instead of something comfortable, you train discipline. Every time you put your phone down and return to your work, you train discipline. Every time you get out of bed when you want to sleep, you train discipline. Every time you choose healthy food when you want junk food, you train discipline. Every time you finish what you started, you train discipline. But there is an important secret. You don't build discipline by making enormous promises. You build discipline by making small promises and keeping them. So don't begin by saying, from tomorrow, I'll wake up at 5 a.m., exercise for 2 hours, read 50 pages, meditate, work 8 hours, eat perfectly, and never use social media again. Your brain will resist. Instead, start smaller. Tomorrow, I will wake up at the time I decided. Tomorrow, I will exercise for 10 minutes. Tomorrow, I will read 5 pages. Tomorrow, I will work for 30 focused minutes. Small victories create confidence. Confidence creates consistency. Consistency creates discipline. And discipline creates results. Part 3. Stop waiting for motivation. Here's one of the biggest traps in life. Waiting to feel motivated. You say, I'll start when I feel ready. I'll study when I feel focused. I'll exercise when I feel energetic. I'll work on my dream when I'm inspired. But here's the problem. Feelings change. Some mornings you will feel powerful. Some mornings you won't. Some days you'll feel unstoppable. Other days you'll question everything. If your actions depend on your feelings, your results will always be inconsistent. Discipline means learning to say, I don't feel like doing it, but I'm doing it anyway. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't wake up every morning and ask, am I motivated to brush my teeth today? No. No. You simply do it. Why? Because it has become automatic. That's the goal. You want your important habits to become so normal that you stop negotiating with yourself. Don't ask, should I work today? Ask, what does my schedule say? Don't ask, do I feel like exercising? Ask, what did I promise myself? That small change in thinking can change your life. Part 4. The second core lesson. Remove the temptation. Now, let's talk about something most people misunderstand. Willpower. People think disciplined people have unlimited willpower. They don't. Smart people don't constantly fight temptation. They design their environment so temptation becomes harder to access. Imagine you're trying to eat healthy, but your kitchen is full of chips, sweets, cookies, and sugary drinks. Every evening, you have to fight temptation. That's exhausting. But what if those foods weren't there? Suddenly, the decision becomes easier. The same thing happens with your phone. If your phone is beside you while you're studying, you don't need to touch it. But every notification, every vibration, every message pulls a little piece of your attention away. So put the phone in another room. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Remove distracting apps from your home screen. Create an environment that supports the person you want to become. Don't make discipline harder than it needs to be. If you want to read more, keep a book beside your bed. If you want to exercise, put your workout clothes where you can see them. If you want to write, keep your notebook ready. If you want to wake up early, put your alarm away from your bed. Make the right behavior easy. Make the wrong behavior difficult. Your environment is silently shaping your behavior every day. Part 5. The third core lesson. Keep the promise. There is another kind of discipline, and it is perhaps the most important. Keeping promises to yourself. Think about how you feel when someone repeatedly promises you something and repeatedly breaks that promise. Eventually, you stop trusting them. The same thing happens inside your mind. Every time you tell yourself, I'll do it tomorrow, and don't, you weaken your trust in yourself. Every time you say, I'll wake up early, and hit snooze 5 times, you teach your brain that your own words don't matter. But the opposite is also true. Every small promise you keep builds self-trust. You say, I'll read 5 pages, and you read 5 pages. You say, I'll walk for 10 minutes. And you walk. You say, I'll work for 30 minutes without checking my phone. And you do it. These actions may seem tiny, but they are building something much bigger. Identity. You begin to see yourself differently. I am someone who follows through. And once you believe that, your behavior begins to change. Part 6. The fourth core lesson. Use the 5-minute rule. Here's a simple technique you can use today. When you don't want to do something, don't tell yourself you have to finish everything. Tell yourself, I'll do it for just 5 minutes. That's it. 5 minutes. Want to study? Study for 5 minutes. Want to exercise? Exercise for 5 minutes. Want to clean your room? Clean for 5 minutes. Want to write? Write for 5 minutes. Why does this work? Because starting is often harder than continuing. Your brain sees a large task and creates resistance, but 5 minutes feels manageable. And once you start, something interesting happens. Momentum begins. 5 minutes becomes 10. 10 becomes 20. And sometimes, you finish the entire task. But even if you stop after 5 minutes, you still won, because you practiced the habit of starting. And starting is one of the most powerful forms of discipline. Part 7. The fifth core lesson. Never miss twice. Now, listen carefully, because this rule can save you from giving up. You will fail sometimes. You will skip a workout. You will waste an afternoon. You will eat something unhealthy. You will sleep late. You will lose focus. You will have bad days. That's normal. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is recovery. Remember this. Never miss twice. Miss one workout. Come back tomorrow. Waste one day. Protect the next one. Break your diet. Return to your plan at the next meal. Lose focus today. Start again tomorrow morning. Don't turn one mistake into an identity. One bad decision doesn't destroy your progress, but one bad decision followed by another and another can become a pattern. The disciplined person isn't someone who never falls. The disciplined person gets back up quickly. Part 8. Build a daily system. Now, let's turn everything we've learned into a simple daily system. You don't need a complicated routine. You need a routine you can actually follow. Step 1. Choose your wake-up time. Pick a realistic time, not the time that sounds impressive. The time you can consistently maintain. When the alarm rings, get up immediately. Don't negotiate with yourself. Step 2. Move your body. Exercise doesn't need to be complicated. Walk, stretch, run, do push-ups, go to the gym. Start with 10 minutes if necessary. The goal is not perfection. The goal is consistency. Step 3. Protect your first hour. Don't immediately give your attention to social media. Your morning is valuable. Use it intentionally. Read, plan, exercise, think. Work on something meaningful before the world tells you what to think about. Decide what matters to you. Step 4. Choose one important task every day. Choose one task that matters. Ask, if I accomplish only one important thing today, what should it be? Then do that task before unnecessary distractions take over. Step 5. Use focus blocks. Work for a defined period. 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 1 hour. During that time, no unnecessary phone checking, no random scrolling, no constant switching. One task, one direction, one focus. Step 6. Review your day. At night, ask yourself 3 questions. What did I do well today? Where did I lose control? What will I do differently tomorrow? Don't judge yourself. Learn from yourself. Every day becomes feedback. Part 9. The story of the rock. Let me give you one final story. Imagine a person standing in front of a massive rock. The rock is enormous. It looks impossible to move. He pushes it. Nothing happens. He pushes again. Nothing. Again. Nothing. After 100 attempts, the rock hasn't moved even an inch. He becomes frustrated. He thinks, this isn't working. But he doesn't stop. The next day, he pushes again and again and again. For weeks, nothing seems to change. Then, one morning, he pushes, and the rock moves. Just a little. What moved the rock? Was it that final push? No. The final push was simply the push we could see. The real work was happening during all those invisible attempts. The same is true in your life. You read one page, nothing changes. You exercise one day, nothing changes. You work for 1 hour, nothing changes. You wake up early once, nothing changes. But keep going. Read another page, do another workout, complete another focused hour, keep another promise, and eventually, the results become visible. People will look at your success and call it overnight success. But they won't see the mornings you got up when you were tired. They won't see the evenings you chose work over distraction. They won't see the days you failed and started again. They won't see the thousands of small decisions that created the person standing in front of them. That's discipline, quiet, invisible, uncelebrated, until suddenly the results become impossible to ignore. Part 10. Your 30-day discipline challenge. So here's your challenge. For the next 30 days, don't try to transform your entire life overnight. Choose 5 simple commitments. 1. Wake up at the same time every day. 2. Move your body for at least 10 minutes. 3. Spend at least 30 minutes on your most important goal. 4. Keep your phone away during focused work. 5. Read at least 5 pages of something that improves you. That's it. 5 commitments, not 50. And here's the important part. Track them every day. Put a check beside each completed habit. At the end of the day, look at your record. You don't need perfection. You need progress. If you fail one day, don't quit. Remember, never miss twice. Final lesson. Become the person who does it now. I want you to imagine yourself 1 year from today. Imagine that you kept your promises. Not perfectly, but consistently. You read, you exercised, you worked, you learned, you focused, you stopped wasting so much time. You became more reliable, more confident, more capable. Now imagine the opposite. Imagine 1 year passed, and nothing changed. Same excuses, same distractions, same habits, same promises, same tomorrow. Both futures are possible, and the difference between them is not luck. It is what you choose to do today. You don't need a new life tomorrow. You need a new decision today. You don't need more motivation. You need a commitment. You don't need to become perfect. You need to become consistent. And you don't need to change everything at once. Start with one promise. Keep it. Then make another. Keep that one too. Slowly, day by day, your actions will change. Your habits will change. Your identity will change. And eventually, your life will change. Remember, discipline is choosing what you want most over what you want right now. It is choosing the book instead of another hour of scrolling. Choosing the workout instead of another excuse. Choosing your dream instead of temporary comfort. Choosing tomorrow's happiness over today's convenience. You will not always feel like doing the work. Do it anyway. You will not always feel motivated. Move anyway. You will sometimes fail. Start again. You will sometimes feel tired. Rest when you need to. But don't abandon yourself. Because every time you keep a promise to yourself, you become stronger. Every time you resist a distraction, you become stronger. Every time you do the difficult thing, you become stronger. And every day you practice discipline, you are building a person that your future self will be proud of. So tomorrow morning, when that alarm rings, don't think about the entire year. Don't think about all your goals. Don't think about how difficult the journey will be. Just sit up, put your feet on the floor, stand up, and take the first step. Because your life doesn't change in one giant moment. It changes through thousands of small moments. When you decide, I will do what I said I would do. That is discipline. That is self-respect. That is strength. And that is how you become the person you are always capable of becoming. Start today, not tomorrow. Today, your future is waiting for the disciplined version of you.